angle lay a deep and beautiful valley, which cupped the world around it into a jar of wildlife and vegetation. In the middle of this wonder was an old natured wooden fence, which was harnessed by 2 grassy slopes, which raised gradually until coinciding at a flat, artificial equilibrium. Below the small hill were clouds of thick mist, which clothed the ground beneath it with a white, polished tuxedo. Towards the end of the mist stood a dozen taller trees, which formed a bow tie, which sealed the suit tightly to the mystery that lay below. Fighting themselves through the misty blanket were hundreds of tiny, vibrant green fields, which inhabited more nature than could ever be imagined in such a petite area. Scouring the location like a god, possessed by the clouds which remained hovering, was a sky that vastly covered the open air around the valley. Scaling up to the clouds were piles of rock and dirt that formed a powerful enclosure which coupled the things inside it with a tight, persisting bondage of an enigmatic love and passion. Crawling up these rocks were years of life and compassion. Settling at the bottom, seasoning the crops which stay seated in a nearby fields, was a small yet fairly big body of natural spring water. After extending out tens of miles, the walls snap into 2 and open up a door which stays open, only to allow the most magnificent of nature to enter. Separating a narrow golden dirt path from the rough texture of wildly grown grass and sapling, the small oak wooden fence scraped along the floor. For as far as the eye could see, little thread-like pillars supported and glued the fence together every few meters. The fence structured itself along with a slight possession of meaning, like it was waiting to be followed to the end. Dormant in the valley, showing no expression of leaving, the mist stayed stiller than a second. The white tint of concealment absorbed the bright beams of light that were emitted by the giant star which shines during the day, like a powerful god's gate to a gorgeous, divine universe. What lay under the mist remained unknown and up to the complex mind to imagine and perfect. Struggling, gripping up to the underworld were the brightened complexion of fields which gave a new impression on life and organization. Underneath the sheets of grass was a seemingly quiet ecosystem consisting of thousands of plants and bushes of every type. Throughout the fields there was but one similarity, and that was the work and the effort they all put in to their ecosystem being part of the biggest ecosystem in the observable universe. Levitating above the valley, defying gravity, was a clear grass barrier that caged the world in from dangers that the world may encounter, protecting it. Fluttering through the invisible plain were flocks of winged creatures sang their messages from their hearts and gave essence and identity to a small, big society of life. Nothing to hide, the realm above the valley's head proudly presented itself to anything that made effort to fly within its vicinity. Everywhere. Okay, number 2. Gazing down on the successful combination of wealth, happiness, and business, a blue, transparent sky shone life upon the hundreds of people who scoured the cobblestone pavements throughout the day, wandering round the attractive town centre like a colony of marvellous, satisfied ants. Crowds of excited individuals cackled among each other, cracking jokes and humorous cries at every opportunity they had. Encircling the complex of opulence, ostentatiously, tens of luxurious, colossal apartments protruded from the ground. Towering above all stood a symbolic tower which warned everything around it of the ever-persistent ongoing of time, rushing people along from shop to shop. Gleaming with the sight, many storefronts tempted the eyes of the scurrying families and businessmen that scrambled past. Astonished by the creation below, the sky continued to rain prosperous sunshine upon the present brought by mankind's gracious hands. Thriving through this window of prosperity, lightly coloured birds soared through the clean summer's air, chirping along with the wonderful, graceful, influential voices below. The sky's transparency allowed the luminosity of its great star to pass directly onto the artificial landmark that sat noisily on the Earth's surface. Pacing along the pathway, an infinite amount of eager people hurried around, chatting and laughing at each other as they complimented their compassion and solicitude, jumping, seeking attentiveness of their genesis. Petite elfin children pleaded to walk through the glass, shiny doors of the dozens of toy stores they ran by. The surveying apartments emitted an aromatic smell of potent modernity as they waved past the organisms who stepped in and out of their vicinity, listening in to the conversations around them. The red brick multi-floor buildings created a whole new secret organization among each other. They would touch and connect at every point they could, forming a tight bond between them. Elevated above the other buildings to a Brobdingnagian degree, and imposing itself to the surrounding sculptures of magnificence, the clock-tower chimed loudly, attracting all attention within its parish, grasping the eyes of many, standing proud, radiating fruitful certainty. The tower kissed the sky, whispering happy thoughts and wonderful days away to itself. Stores stood open, forming a cozy blanket of wealth among the ground level. All around, the fingers pointed towards love-fulfilled expense. Central of the stores were 3 beautiful modernized, unique stores which cradled an array of admirable, sublime, golden and silver sediments which enchanted the mind of only the richest of families. Seduced and dazzled by the wonder inside the shop, many people crowded round the many pedestals which contained the most stunning jewellery, only to be astonished and frozen in place. Number 3. Floating above the vessel lay rows of white fabric, separated by the harsh yet invisible force which commands the spacious clump of old rotted wood like a god. Twisted and tangled, hundreds of threads of rope desperately attempted to grasp hold of the ship in whatever way they could, as the stormy summer air repelled them. Surrounding the area, spanning miles on end, great tears of nature spat their venom into the eyes of the bark. Consequently, while tens of fantastically oversized hands smashed against the ship with forces beyond Brobdingnagian impetus, a group of obedient crewmen sat shaking in the lower decks of the ship, waving violently in the wind. Giant sheets of paper hung by 3 masts on the ship, being torn into pieces by the weather. Holes punched through the sheets every minute due to the unbearable force of nature. The frontal mast, however, held a strong and durable sail which carried the vessel through the open seas. Erupting, protruding from the ocean of souls, ginormous killers embarked themselves onto the ship like a gang of pirates, roaring for treasure. The waves shattered the ship in many places as they hit forcefully against it. They fought and fought the unbearable battle, slowly attempting to sink its rival down to the depths of the deep. Assisting in the war were thousands of thick droplets of rain crashing themselves fiercely onto the deck of the ship. Nothing but nature itself could put an end to the constant suffering of man witnessed by everything in the great boat's vicinity. And so, by the very essence of nature, he continued to rain hell upon Earth's most sophisticated destroyers. That's quite a harsh one. Sorry if it didn't really fit the theme at all. Gonna move on to a 4th one now. Hope you enjoy. Dormant, waiting with a confident posture, a darkened figure hid away from the daylight sky under a frigid, poorly lit railroad shelter, blanketing the floor with thousands of particles, resembling years of burnt black ashes. Rusted and deformed, a broken down railway track lay imprinted in the harsh, damp January freeze. Emerging from the ruptured brick wall were old, grotty plastic chairs, which radiated a distinct, smoky aroma throughout the bitterly cold, polar morning air. Creating a sense of irony, dressed in a rather smart tuxedo, white shirt, and pure obsidian black bow tie, this peculiar man stared blankly into the cracked acrylic billboards that was separated the rail track from the path. It was as if he was waiting. It was as if he was waiting and anticipating an event that had already been planned weeks in advance. The man was of a rather greedy size, and sure did provoke an idea of certain settled on the floor, forming a sooty carpet with dust particles staining the ground beneath the figure. The soiled ground was formed by the many years of ash, cigarettes, and trash that had been thrown away unneeded by any member of society, giving the abandoned shelter a foul, grimy, unsanitary reputation among the mixed city of drugged, possessed animals and wealthy businessmen. Yet there the soil sat, giving no intuition of moving. Serrated in the ground, the tarnished iron bars that formed together the dysfunctional railroad that once carried tens of carts and carriages filled to the brim with the hundreds of loaded businessmen that would board them. The ancient metal railway stretched as far as the eye could see, in both directions. It stretched like the never-ending line that begins at consciousness onto eternity, which aspires to continue forward, only to enter several gloomy and unpredictable shafts of darkness and uncertainty. Friendless, the rejected, forsaken senile benches which spread throughout the passage received little notice when anyone stepped within their vicinity, due to the total lack of aesthetics that they possessed. Any decent organism to breathe deeply around it would be greeted with an instant repulse and carried a high potency. By this point in time, they had been much turned into public dump grounds, where passing strangers would walk by only to deposit their neglected items inside their pockets. Okay, number 5. I can remember writing this one, actually. I had a picture of an old man on my screen that I was going to write a description about, and this is how it turned up. So, enjoy. Resting on the disorientated, old, scruffed face lay the ancient wrinkles, which spoke wise words to the world around them. Gazing into the misty, grey sky, his eyes focused on into the unforeseeable future ahead of them. Rummaging down his peculiar face, long strands of mucky white hair hid him from the cold breeze that slapped against him. Slumped onto the back of his head was a ragged, tattered, antediluvian piece of manufactured cloth, which shaped his origins as a long-living adventurer who lived only for the sight of nature and jeopardy. Shielding his cold, scratched body, loosely forming a competent enclosure, were long atavistic threads which bonded together as a group to form a brown jacket. Scraping down into his historical, worn-out face were hundreds of small cracks which painted sagacious inner vocals from within. These deep facial cavities seeked only to give the old traveller his wisdom and power, which differentiated him from the rest of man. Darkened green eyes, which stayed seated in the man's skull, searched desperately for what he would consider treasure. Like a wild animal searching for its prey, the steady lenses scanned through the open, shivering air, sparkling at any promising sight. Within the eyes were countless reflections of previous lives he had once lived, loved. Overgrown needles crawled upon his wrinkled skin, carrying lethal doses of harmful poisons and toxicants. The sharp stingers curled and deviated around one another, like a hive of vicious, furious wasps. The integrity of the long fibres had been compromised over the years and had been deprived of any colour. Gripping tightly to the man's bald, lifeless scalp, the hat lay restless, continuously trapping the warm air that would seep in through small breaches that were dotted throughout the hat, draping over the sides of the man's rough facial structure. Parts of the hat would shade the man of the variety of behaviours of the wild weather. Slumped over the top of the hat was a fraying, woolly bulb, which was carefully crafted using hundreds of small, vibral beams of woven cloth. Okay. So, that does it. This is my first soft-spoken or softly spoken video. As all my others are either no talking or whispered. But I thought I would try this out and cross an idea off of my list. So I hope you enjoyed it, and